Good morning. My name is Susan Henderson. I'm the Chief Communications Officer here at Rite Aid, and we're just delighted to be here at the Nativity School and to see this brand new reading room. We're all going to have a chance to kind of walk through there, and a little bit after these formal remarks, we're going to have a great time with Ken Martindale, our president of Rite Aid Corporation, the CEO of our Rite Aid stores, and president of the Rite Aid Foundation. So I hope you have some good questions for him, because he'll answer them, believe me. So we have a very brief program, and I want to talk just a little bit about what we do with the Rite Aid Foundation. But before I do that, I want to acknowledge some very special guests we have here today. We have the Honorable Eric Pappenfuse, the Mayor of the City of Harrisburg. Mr. Mayor, thank you for being here. We are also pleased that Tyra Wallace, who is representing U.S. Representative Scott Perry, who represents the 4th District here in Pennsylvania. Tyra, thank you. We appreciate it. And Brian Humphrey, who is the Harrisburg District Office Director of State Senator Rob Teplitz, is here. Thank you very much, Brian. And now to some of the familiar faces you all know here at the Nativity School, and some of new friends at Rite Aid that you'll get to know, we hope, over time. Lavelle Muhammad, your principal and executive director of the Nativity School of Harrisburg. Nice to see you. And Karen Gunnison, the president of the Nativity School Harrisburg Board of Directors. And of course, you all know one another, and we're looking forward to getting to know all of our students and our newfound friends here at Nativity School. We have also the Rite Aid CEO of stores and the president of Rite Aid Corporation, and as I mentioned, also the president of the Rite Aid Foundation, Ken Martindale. Ken? And I want to say a special shout out to one of our colleagues, Brian Shurtleff. Brian is also on the board of the Rite Aid Foundation. Brian also serves on your board of directors. And it was really through his insights and recommendations that we have started to learn more about you and forge this very special relationship. So thank you so much. We have Tracy Henderson, our director of the Rite Aid Foundation. Tracy's been working she and Gail Reif have done a great job putting this all together. And we have a whole host of Rite Aid associates from the greater Harrisburg area. We have Brian Everett, our executive vice president of all of our store operations throughout the store. I'm going to just call him Bob Faz, because Faz Eckerly is hard for me to say. He runs a lot of our building and operations stores and taking care of them. And I don't know if I've got that quite right, but whenever you have a problem, you call Faz, okay? I know that. And we have Ken Jordan, who runs this area of the company as the vice president of this region. So Ken, we're thrilled to have all of you, and I hope you'll have a chance to even meet more of the people, and some of them you've already met, I see from those pictures. So before we get into Ken's remarks, I'd like to spend just a couple of minutes telling you a little bit about what the Rite Aid Foundation does and our efforts. We were established in 2001, and it's long been committed to improving the lives of those living in the communities that Rite Aid serves. Our foundation is just one of the ways we deliver on what we call a core value, which is to be a caring neighbor, one that gives back to the towns and cities that we serve in very meaningful ways. Over the years, we've provided both financial and in-kind gifts to a variety of organizations that help support and improve children's health and wellness specifically. Working with the American Red Cross, for example, we've also provided grants and in-kind services to support communities as they recover and rebuild in the wake of devastating hurricanes, floods, and fires. And unfortunately, we've all been a part of many of those over the past few years, from Superstorm Sandy to the flooding we all endured a few years ago. We're there to help and to support things like the American Red Cross. The Rite Aid Foundation has also provided funding to Rite Aid associates in need of short-term financial assistance due to natural disaster, medical emergencies, and other unexpected hardships. And of course, through our company's support of Children's Miracle Network hospitals, we've raised more than $75 million to help would improve the lives of sick and injured children. I'm proud to say that we are Children's Miracle Network's hospital's 6th largest corporate sponsor in the United States, and this spring we have just finished our 20th corporate campaign for the organization. And I hope none of you have had to be over there, but if you have to, you all know about Penn State Children's Hospital, which is a fabulous place, and we're thrilled that we also are a very key supporter there. In all, these efforts have resulted in more than $90 million being raised and used to help support health and wellness activities in the communities we serve. Most recently, Rite Aid Foundation created a very special program called KidSense, and it was developed as a very simple way for our customers to help organizations that share in our commitment to helping kids in their overall health and well-being. To help, customers only have to enroll absolutely free in the KidSense program in store or online and elect to round up their purchase to the nearest whole dollar. That rounded up change, those pennies, those nickels, those dimes, those quarters, whatever they wish to round up, goes toward supporting nonprofit, kid-focused organizations that give kids a chance at a brighter, happier, and healthier future. And members of our Wellness Plus with Plenty program could even pick the charity that they'd like to direct their change to, making giving truly personal. To date, we have over 360 KidSense partners throughout the United States, including right here at Nativiity School. The Rite Aid Foundation is committed to helping them in their mission, and that brings us to why we are here today. And for that honor, I'd like to now introduce Ken, who will make a few remarks and tell you a little bit more about the program. Ken?
Thank you, Susan. Morning, everybody. You know, I think I have the distinction of probably having the longest title of anybody in the United States of America as I sit there and listen to Susan say all that stuff. But amongst everything that I do all day long, I've got to tell you, one of the very best parts of my job is doing this. Getting out and meeting great young men like all of you guys. I'm really looking forward to this later this morning. I think we're going to spend a little time together, and it really makes you feel good to see all of the efforts that our team has put forward with KidSense to really make a difference. So I'm very excited to be here, and thank you all for joining us today. You know, this is really an exciting time for the Rite Aid Foundation's KidSense program. In just a very short amount of time, as Susan said, we have developed relationships with over 360 local charities in communities across the country that we operate in. And they are doing some great, great work with all of the kids that they support and that they serve. And that's really why we're here today. We are here to celebrate Big Hearts Give, which is a challenge that Tracy Henderson developed a few months ago to try and get all of these great organizations that we deal with on a day-to-day basis even more engaged, and to engage more people in supporting them so that we can generate more revenue and more income for all of these great charities. She launched this thing in October. And we've had all kinds of success with this thing. We couldn't be more pleased with the results that we've got. Over half of the charities that we support got very actively engaged. And probably one of the most exciting things about being here this morning is that the Nativiity School, because of your level of engagement, has earned a grant from the Rite Aid Foundation of $12,500. And that's going to go a long way to help everything that you guys are trying to accomplish here. Yeah. I think just about everybody here is familiar with the Nativiity School of Harrisburg, but if not, it's a privately run, independent, non-denominational, faith-based preparatory middle school. And it exists to break the cycle of poverty for low-income inner-city boys. The school provides comprehensive middle school education, as well as educational support services throughout high school and college, which I think is probably one of the things that really differentiates this program from a lot of the other programs that I've had the opportunity to see. So now, with all of that said, I'd like to introduce Lavelle Muhammad, the principal and executive director of the Nativiity School. He joined the school in 2012. He's got over 20 years of experience in education and working with youth, and I think you're going to enjoy hearing from him. So, Principal Muhammad, say a few words.
Good morning. Good morning. On behalf of the Nativiity School, we'd like to thank Rite Aid family. We'd like to thank Mr. Martindale, Mrs. Henderson, Mr. Brian Sirtliff, and the Rite Aid family for your kind gesture, for the Kids Sense Award. We're so pleased and we're so honored that we could receive that. And as you can see, it's a blessing. Now, you couldn't really see the beginning of the first room where it looked like before, but they have done an incredible renovation in that room. Incredible. And Nativity, you want to thank them for what they have done for us? Now, I can say it all day, but it's better to come from them. Well, we have two students. I'm getting off script now. Hope Tracy Henderson doesn't kill me for this, but I want to bring up two students to really say thank you for what you all have done for us. Can we bring the two students up? These are two leaders. Mr. Tehran, Mr. Jahid, come on up, sir. These are two of our 8th graders that have been with us for 3 years, and they're our overachievers.
Hello everyone, my name is Tehran James. I'm an 8th grade student at the Nativiity School of Harrisburg. We are very excited about the Reading Center. We can't wait to get to it. We would like to thank Rite Aid for everything they have done for us. We are very excited. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Jai Cooper. I'm an 8th grader here at Nativiity School, Harrisburg. We want to thank you as the Rite Aid family for providing us with that reading room to help us improve on our comprehension skills and our reading skills. Thank you.
I could have never said it as good as them. Well, I'd like to bring up our board president now. Her name is Karen Gunnison.
Good morning. Well, they're a tough act to follow. Just on behalf of the Board of Directors, thank you, Rite Aid. Thank you, Ken Martindale in particular, and Brian Sirtliff, who discovered us, I guess I can say, for meeting with us many months ago, and we're thrilled with how everything has transpired. And I say to these boys, take such advantage of what Rite Aid has provided you. Look at all the people in this room because they are supporting you. And with reading skills, you can go so far. That's why the Board of Directors meets monthly upstairs, because we believe in these boys and their futures, and we're so excited to have Rite Aid on board believing in them too. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Principal Mohammed. Thank you, Karen. Appreciate your comments. I now would like to introduce somebody that steps up here with the distinction of being the mayor of the city that you guys all go to school in and many of you live in. So, Mayor, come on up.
Great to see everybody this morning. This is a particularly wonderful day for me. I've said this before, but although I am the mayor, I really identify first and foremost as being a teacher. I'm also the father of 2 middle school children and another one soon to be. And I'm a bookstore owner, so I'm all about the importance of literacy and the importance of reading, and it's all coming together here in this very, very generous donation from the Rite Aid Foundation. So I want to start by thanking the Rite Aid Foundation officially on behalf of the City of Harrisburg for your commitment to understanding that education is a key component of health and wellness, and for recognizing that the Nativity School is doing amazing things here in inner city Harrisburg and deserves your support. Thank you, Rite Aid Foundation. Let's give them another round of applause. I have to say the Kids Sense program is innovative and really interesting. And you don't have to do it, but you do it because I think you are committed to the community. I think there's also a special link here to central Pennsylvania and to Harrisburg, and we recognize that history as well. And I can say that whenever I go to Rite Aid, and I do it on a regular basis, I enjoy rounding up my change. And I know that it's going to benefit right here. The benefit is going to stay right here in the local community of Harrisburg. For all of you, I want to say just a short message, which is that education is the key to transcending poverty. There's no question about it. The Nativity School gets it. I wouldn't have been able to do anything in my life had it not been for the fact that I was fortunate enough to get a solid education. My parents sent me to a good school. I was able to study hard, to read, and to learn. And that's opened every door. And that will open every door for you all. You are fortunate to be here. The Nativity School understands that. It is a rigorous academic program, and it is based in a moral philosophy that is grounded and will lead you to whatever you want to achieve. So it's with pleasure that I come here today to recognize both the generosity of the Rite Aid Foundation and the achievements of the Nativity School, and together I think the sky is the limit. We can achieve whatever we want to achieve, and let's continue to work together in Harrisburg to make sure that those opportunities exist for us all. Thank you.
Okay. Now, the moment that we've all been waiting for. The big check. And I mean big, guys, when you see this thing. We're also going to ask Principal Mohammed to come up. And I think Sonia and Marianne, a couple of our leaders from Rite Aid, are going to come up. This is very exciting. Principal, we are very honored at the Rite Aid Foundation to be able to present to you this very large KidSense check for $12,500 for the Nativity School of Harrisburg. Congratulations. Great, thank you. You know, as Susan mentioned earlier, one of our Rite Aid Foundation board members, Brian Shurtleff, played a real key role in this relationship. He came to me and said, you know, there's an organization that's making a really, really big difference in the city, and you know, with everything that we're doing with the Rite Aid Foundation, I think we should take a look at them. And fortunately, Lavelle and Karen came over to the office and did a quick spin through and told us about all the great things that they were doing. And Brian, again, I just want to thank you for introducing us to this great organization, and I think this is the beginnings of a lot of great things to come. You know, Susan went through a large list of people earlier, and I just want to do a quick shout out. I don't get to do this very often, to one other person that really helped early on in the development of KidSense. I'm fortunate this morning, which I rarely get the opportunity to do, is to share with you an introduction to my wife. Sharon, stand up, would you? It was about 3 years ago, and we were in Pittsburgh, and we were walking from an apartment downtown over to a coffee shop and trying to figure out how we could really get the Rite Aid Foundation to grow and thrive and expand. And it was really her ideas that helped drive the whole KidSense thing. She doesn't get a lot of credit. So I just wanted to make sure you guys all knew, at the end of the day, we're all working real hard to support you, but she's the one that thought of this whole thing. And so, Sharon, thanks for all your work and efforts on it. You know, in addition to the $12,500 check that we just gave, the Rite Aid Foundation decided that we should do something a little extra to help make sure that these students were very well prepared to move forward with their educational endeavors going forward. And so a bunch of our suppliers and a bunch of our associates got together, and they did what I've heard called the incredible makeover. And I haven't yet seen the room, but I've heard all about it, and this team was able to bring some new fresh paint, fresh carpet, new furniture, including desks and tables and chairs and new lighting. And in addition to that, we're providing 6 tablet computers and 250 new books to the bookshelves. And in addition to that, all you guys are going to get one of these KidSense bags, and it's got some school supplies and personal care stuff. We're really very excited about this relationship, and thanks to all of our team who went above and beyond to help get this done for these guys. You know, I think this has been a great way to kick off a Wednesday morning, especially a morning that you guys got to sleep in for a few minutes extra. But we're only really getting started. This is just the beginning of a really exciting thing. You know, this week, throughout the rest of the month, Rite Aid associates across the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania are going to be donating checks to charities all over the place, just like what we're doing here today. There are going to be 22 additional KidSense charities in Pennsylvania that are going to receive over $185,000 because of this big challenge. And if you look at across the whole country, we're in 31 states. We're going to have 182 organizations that are going to be awarded $1.6 million over the next couple weeks. These dollars are critical to help all of these small local organizations continue to help the kids in the communities that we live in and that we serve. The Rite Aid Foundation is very proud to partner with each one of our KidSense charities, and we're looking forward to partnering with all of you in the future to help these young men continue in their educational endeavors. Principal Mohammed, Karen, staff, Rite Aid associates, and students, thank you very much for spending the time with us today. Guys, I'm really excited about spending a little bit more time with you later this morning, and thanks to everybody else that joined us today. I really appreciate it. This is a big day for us. Susan, I'll turn it back to you.
I just want to also add our thanks again to Mayor Pappenfuse for coming, for Brian and Tyra and the representatives of our public officials for coming and showing their support of this great school and the efforts that you're doing. A special thank you to Principal Mohammed and the entire team here at the Nativity School of Harrisburg. We do truly appreciate you hosting us this morning, and we also truly appreciate what you're doing in this community. We hope you really enjoy your new reading room that we're all going to have an opportunity to now go and see. And we look forward to working with you and volunteering here. And to all the Rite Aid associates who made today possible, thank you for your time. Thank you for your efforts and for showing with Rite Aid it truly is personal. Thanks again.